Before we wander on into the episode, I just want to make sure that everyone goes out there and hits up the YouTube, check out the Spotify, check out Apple, wherever you're listening or watching to this podcast, is to go down, like it, subscribe, hit the bell if it's YouTube. Make sure you're getting those reminders. We do put these out every week. So make sure you do all that. It helps us out. And in the long run, we can make better things. So again, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility? Oh, the most American shit you can find. That's what you gotta wear. Just make sure you scream American. Also, go make sure that you're going with absolutely no melanin. So be as pasty white as you can.
Do you think I should tan first? Is what you're saying?
I don't know. It just that's how you're gonna make yourself look not as American. Is you don't dress American. You just don't appear American. Like hats, I probably won't wear a hat the whole time I'm there.
Should I rock should I just get moccasins and leather and shit and like
Full
a
native.
headdress? Like a headdress, paint my face the whole time. Walk
Yeah.
around like sage, giving it to their family. Here you go. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got too much of that this weekend. I got
I
cool.
always dress. I always try to look Canadian. That's my usual go-to.
Yeah, just do that. Like how they have the in what's that fucking show where the Middle Eastern he comes to America and they're in the helicopter and shit and they're dressed all up in American hats. The fuck's that?
Oh, I
His
don't know. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I try to dress real Canadian when I'm out. And actually, I do a pretty dang good job. I have a lot of people that assume I'm Canadian.
I mean, Oregon's pretty close too, if you in
I mean, there's a
reality.
whole state in between us.
But it's not a big state, north to south.
Yeah, north to south. Yeah.
And
I
and
mean,
and
it's as big as some countries in Europe.
that's true, but some country basically America is a bunch of countries that have united.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but and the coast, basically Vancouver Island down to Astoria is
Yeah.
the same, where you grew
I
up.
might actually be in Canada this coming week, so
Over school shit, your teams.
no, for fun.
Oh, with your family, you're just driving go up.
Well, we're gonna be in Port Angeles,
Oh, because
Olympic
across.
area. Yeah, so we may just walk on the ferry, pop across, and then come back.
Nice. Oh, you say
That's
you
my
like that
vote, but
town.
I love Canada, so
Yeah. Well, and you like that town.
yeah, Victoria. Victoria is
Yeah.
absolutely pretty beautiful. I've never been in the winter, so it'd be different.
Yeah. Snow? Do they get snow?
No, not on Vancouver Island.
Oh,
Vancouver Island is more Pacific Northwest weather than even Pacific Northwest.
yeah. It
Like the
rains there.
coast, yeah, the coast will get snow. Like the Oregon coast will get snow. Vancouver Island, I think it's very rare if it gets about below 35.
I feel you. It's just that
It's the island life.
yeah. Well, they have the biking too. I've seen there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
they legitimately last time I was in Victoria, a bunch of people from Vancouver, BC were like, yeah, this is that island life out here. And I was
It,
like, technically you're right. Technically you are right, but it's not what I would think when I think island life.
not that island life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they dress like it. No joke. You'll see them walk around in sandals, like it's beautiful sunny weather, but it's really like 55.
I think that's because sandals and stuff. Think about it. Back in the Roman times, that's what they wore. Jesus shoes, they in reality, I think that that's kind of natural. Moccasins are kind of that way, just kind of like a layer to protect the feet
Mhm.
versus we've created shoes to protect the whole foot. And
Yeah, well, I could go on a rant about shoes any day or any time. I'm gonna save everyone the pain because this is not the place to talk about the how wonderful shoes are, but yet how horrible shoes are. So
Right? Oh yeah, because you did your Earth Runners there for a while too. But no,
I
I got some
still
really,
got the Earth Runners and I wear barefoot shoes.
yeah. He's one of them.
I am one of them. I realized that I was one of those because I'll play like indoor volleyball
Right.
for kicks and gigs. And I realized that I am that guy at the rec center that shows up in the weird shoes and just like balls out. I've reached that point in my life. Because if you look at the shoes, you're like, this guy's a scrub. But then I go out there and I hold my own.
I mean, you're good at volleyball. I will. I can attest to that.
Yeah, I'm
You play a lot.
decent.
No, you
Yeah.
play a lot. You put a lot of time in, and that's with anything in life, man. You just put a lot of time in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're good at it naturally.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, should we
How was your weekend with Matt
Matt? But
Buddy?
he was in his element because
Oh, I'm sure.
it's his homelands, Lakota Nation, Black Hills. What Hasapa. That's Black Hills in Lakota.
Mm.
They it was beautiful, good weather. He was great. Got his bison steak, got his all that. You know what I mean? He's excited. And good time. He even got to meet a cousin he met on Bumble, which is hilarious. He hey, you're in the area, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're what else did he do? He went down the water slide at the hotel, which was kind of cool. Yeah, we were hot tubbing the first night, and there's these guys that were attending the basketball tournament that we were at, and they were just talking with them, and the guy was like, he's like 32 years old, like, you want to go down the water slide with me? Matt jumped right up, almost took a kid out too as they came up because he did one of those cross my arms and go down. Just at the
Yeah,
end of the bar,
yeah.
was like boom, as the kid goes under the water. It's crazy, crazy. But no, he was good. Good seeing that. It's really cool because it's a lot of high school kids playing basketball, and you really get to experience, what they call the res ball, um, kind of style of game. It's similar to like Golden State, Steph Curry, the run and gun, shoot the three, right? And that's what it is, and it's hard playing, good athletes. We got a cool interview with this one kid who he actually won like MVP of the tournament of their bracket. They were the
Oh,
champions.
nice.
Yeah, no, it was neat. And we had Superman, the Crow rapper, and performer come, and he was amazing, man. We had some great conversations, just talking about life and everything. And he lives in Billings. I grew up a little bit in Billings, and to have that relationship, that talk, we've worked together on some other projects in the past, and he preaches that like positive because the campaign is no vaping, right? In rapper, right? You think, oh shit, but he's like, I gotta keep my lungs healthy. I'm a fancy dancer as well. He dances in his fancy dance outfit. Um, it's cool, man. It's some cool stuff, cool culture.
Oh, that's good. Glad it was a good time.
Yeah.
Always fun going to big tournaments. Regardless of the sport, big tournaments like that are always fun.
Well,
There's a different energy around them.
this one in particular had uh like archery Lakota language bowl. So like they had a quiz bowl basically, but on the Lakota
Yeah.
language. They had a cheerleading tournament part of it. They have like in the fall and summer like golf and other ones associated, but there's like wrestling with this one, and it's tied into all the high schools. And they have some of the local south like regional ones, like the white schools that come to it too. But the big native schools, it's pretty much like 80% native schools, and there was like I want to say like 40 teams. Like it was a big tournament, and to have that there in like their homelands is really cool.
How funny would it be if some white kid from like St. Mary's High School won the Lakota Bowl for the language in the Lakota Quiz Bowl?
Hey man, there's some people that love it.
Oh,
Like
100%. I
yeah,
say that jokingly, but at the
but
same time,
yeah,
like there's people
yeah,
they get attached to something. They're like, I just want to learn all about it, and all of a sudden they learn a ton about the language just because they're interested in it, and then they
right.
go and they're like, this is my thing. Like I say it jokingly, but like it could
No,
happen. Anyone could get into anything.
It does happen. No, I've heard stories of Irish people coming and learning like languages because they're
Yeah,
so infatuated with it. You know what I mean? Because they have
yeah,
tribes
yeah.
up there, like the Celtic tribes, you know? So kind of that same thing. And it's just interesting because like I was talking one of those conversations that we were having with everybody there that like those they had their tribes and it's like we were also invaded by London, you know, like they got us too, you know, kind of jokingly. So,
You joke, but that's true. Oh,
right?
the English invaded us.
Right?
you know,
Exactly.
we all have that. A lot of people have that common. You either have the English or the
Right.
Spanish.
Right. That's a good chunk of the world, or the French.
Yeah, not as much of French though. Well, Africa. There's a lot of French invasion in Africa. So
Right. I think like Nigeria, I see, and that's kind of where we're getting into today, right? Nigeria, I think they're a little African. I think there's a little French there. I could be wrong. I really could be. I haven't done my research yet. We're a
there's
couple months out.
a lot of African countries have a French influence. That's why French is spoken so much in Africa.
Right. But we're going to the wedding, talking to the guy today on
Yeah,
this
that's true.
podcast, on this very podcast, going to
We're
Africa.
yeah, we're talking to the guy that's getting married.
Yolo. He's going to tell us about his homeland, the motherland, as they say.
And
Uh,
we're gonna see it.
yeah, no, I'm excited. This is like one of those things you learn in school, like when you're learning like about Africa, you think it's a lot smaller than it is, right? It's a huge freaking continent. So that's kind of what I'm excited too about this is like going to Nigeria is going to be one different country, you know, where they're having the first wedding, and then going to Uganda, which is like in the heart of Africa. It's the jungle, you know, next to Rwanda and places like that. You know, it's just beautiful. Um, and then you get to see like where one of our good pals grew up, you know, like I
Yeah,
still like, I wish I'm glad like you've got to experience a little bit of Billings. I haven't got to experience too much seaside, just the one trip with you, but just like those kind of things, you know, like just experience those places. So we get really experience his family. I've never met his parents, not
yeah.
his brothers and sisters. Like I'm stoked. Like he's met Josh and Tyler. Like he loves them. So it's like I feel like, oh man, I'll fit right in. Hopefully, you know, maybe they hate me. Who knows? Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'm excited. It'll be different, It's gonna
Right.
be different area, different culture. And we're going for a fun reason. I mean,
Right.
travel is fun, but the added benefit of our good mate getting married is always a plus.
It really is. And it's exciting. Well, and you've met Annette, man. Him and her, just to see like he's in love. They're in love. It's good to see. It's good to see when you see those like people come together and they build up those lives together. So for him to see your friends do that kind of stuff, it's really cool. You know, we thought we
It
had that
is.
with Matt Buddy in Rapid City on Bumble. You know, he was trying. He's like, I'm gonna get my Lakota princess, and it turned out to be his cousin. So instead, they're going to be friends, he said, and they were talking and they're going to meet up one of these times. And he's like, "Oh, more family, like meet more family," you know. So but for
Yeah.
him, I get it too, though, because there is that disconnect from the reservation because his dad was adopted off the reservation, right? So there is that family there that they haven't got to experience as much. So he's one of those people that is rebuilding those bridges. And that's awesome to see happen. You know, it's really actually cool to see firsthand. His ways of Bumble to find it is interesting, but it happens. Maybe that's what it's for, you know?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it's one of the settings. I don't know. But it's I mean, that's such a Matt Buddy thing to have happen to him. So,
I know.
more power to him. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna hop in to our chit chat with old Yolo, our good buddy Yolo.
What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. How you been?
Good, good. Just got back from South Dakota today. Drove the 6 hours and four and a half.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, you always driving somewhere.
Work.
Right, he is, really is.
Yeah.
Can't stay in Wolf Point too long. Gotta, keep my. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
They
Life
should,
treating you well, Yolo?
I mean, it is right now. Just doing some prep for the wedding, but
Yeah.
really can't complain. I'm getting gray hair in my beard, I've seen a third one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's okay. I got gray in my beard, and I think it makes it look better.
Mark, to be honest, you've had gray beard since college, so
Just that one speck
That
too.
is true. I
yeah,
have had a gray beard for a long time.
yeah.
Stressed really hard once.
What's that
Yeah, one time.
what's that there's like this term they use for like when like you're not old enough but you start getting gray hair, silver head or something like that.
Oh, silver fox.
Silver fox, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could be a full silver fox, but I'm actually starting even to like bald up here. I think I'm gonna just start going bald full time to just get ahead of
Yeah,
it.
we all are. I'm actually thinking about going to Turkey, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta restore my hairline.
Hey, I mean, if you like the hair look, I think it's all for it. They've gotten a lot better with like hair restoration or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's like $5,000 you get full transplant.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
top of the head. Yeah, it's not that expensive actually.
Damn. Real talk though. I got my native hair. It's that long, thick stuff. You've seen my grandpa, the white
Yeah.
hair. I hope, but my mom's grandpa's bald, so who knows? My dad's
So
got his long hair.
what? So probably one of your brothers gonna get that gene. So
Josh or Joe. Joe's the whitest one, huh?
yeah.
The
No,
blonde hair
Josh.
is the
I
best.
don't think Josh will get it.
Well, his
Not
hair curls. Like his hair gets really curly, so that's the
there.
only reason why I throw it out because it would like that's the difference between me and Tyler.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Wow.
and you're straight. Yeah, I see.
And then Joe's just the whitest of us all. So blonde hair, blue
Yeah,
eye.
yeah.
He's a crazy guy.
For sure.
So what stuff you got planning? What's all planned, I guess.
So location is planned for sure.
Right.
Yeah, but now it's just, the small stuff like what are we going to be doing? The events, I'm trying to set that up. So yeah, wedding planning it's not fun for guys. It's yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, I
I
don't
know.
know. We don't you don't wake up you don't wake up and like um well I guess like for guys like you dream about having a wedding at a certain point,
Right.
but you don't dream about the process of like getting to the wedding. You get what I'm saying?
Right? Or paying for certain stuff. You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, yeah, we want a cake. Oh, you want to rent chairs? Oh,
Oh
you want
yeah.
you want that venue? Oh,
Yeah.
engagement photos? Oh,
Yeah.
wedding photos, wedding video. You're just
Yep.
like, Jesus Christ. Actually, though, that is where this gray hair came from, was that year. It was that year before the wedding.
Before the wedding. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's no joke, I tell you. Trying to get ready for a wedding. It's no joke.
And you
Um,
have two ceremonies to get like planned for. So that's even another headache or another, not a headache, but obstacle.
yeah, it's two ceremonies. The one in Nigeria, we do a traditional wedding in Nigeria. Well, so typically, most African cultures, there's well, I'll take it back. So before most countries got colonized, right? There was a African tradition, right? That way, people used to get married back in the day, right? So that tradition has stuck till today. But what happened is after colonization, then the whole like they call it a white wedding, which is the traditional wedding here in the US. So people started doing that as well. So what you see nowadays is you have people doing both. So you do the cultural one where it's like you're wearing cultural outfit, and then you do the the regular like white
Christian
wedding,
one.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So and I guess most people like kind of tie that to religion and stuff, but um yeah, that's how it is now. So we're gonna do the traditional one in Nigeria, and then the other one, the regular one, we'll do it in Uganda.
Is there a reason you chose that for either or?
Yeah, I mean, because her family's in Nigeria,
Yeah.
so Yeah, and then because you can't move the whole family to Uganda, it would be too expensive.
Okay.
So yeah, so you want to have both families at least have a chance to at least see me and some of my family and say, oh, this is the guy, our daughter's getting married to,
Right.
and then on same vice versa on my side, it'd be like, oh, this is the girl that our son is going to get married to and some of our family.
Right. Is any of your family coming to Nigeria?
Yeah, probably like maybe about 5 people.
Yeah. Your mom and
Max.
dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ceremonies are 1 week apart. So
Right.
yeah,
Weekends, right? On like what like weekend to
yes,
weekend, basically. Yeah.
weekend to weekend. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So in between there, are you what is there like a plan for like to hang where I guess when are you traveling back?
Back where to?
From when you go from Nigeria to
Yeah.
Uganda. Oh,
So
like
I'll probably leave Nigeria on that Monday. So the traditional wedding is on Saturday 16th. So
okay.
by the 18th, I should be back in Uganda.
Okay.
Uh, So then, yeah, so that leaves me Tuesday till Friday, just like have you guys come over and then, do a bunch of random stuff, I show you around the city.
Do you want me to come like on that Monday or on like Tuesday? Like like
Tuesday would be ideal. But you say you say you want to come to Nigeria as well, right?
yes, I'm that's what I mean. Do I want to book the
Yeah,
same ticket
we'll fly together. We'll just
fly
get the
together?
same plane. Yeah.
Okay. When are you going to book that?
I probably want to book that soon. When I
Soon.
get, yeah, next year, probably next year, early next year.
What are like costs? Just like spitball. Like yeah,
So Nigeria to Uganda would probably be like 1,000.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of looking. Is there like all the good airlines over there, yeah? I just like
I actually
we,
don't. Well,
we ain't flying like JetBlue, right? Or
no,
Spirit.
no, no. So the big airlines in Africa there's Ethiopian Airlines. I
Okay.
know there's Kenyan Airlines is big.
Okay, yeah.
Um, South African Airlines used to be big back in the day. I don't know if they still have flights going on. Yeah, so I mean, I'd have to look, but just generally speaking, it's travel between African countries is not a thing. Like people do travel, but it's um,
It's not like Europe or the States.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot more people that haven't even been to the neighboring countries than people that have. Just because of the cost.
Right, because it's war like it was yeah like the colonization created those traumas that created that. Now I get it.
And it's
Not
big,
not
isn't it?
not really. Yes, one, it's big, and then also it's like it's just expensive, you know. It's
True.
expensive. Yeah.
To
So
introduce
so what?
it to go within the continent is what you're saying.
Yes, within the continent, it's
Yeah,
expensive. Yeah.
and I guess it is like that's the other thing too. People don't realize it's a continent.
It is a continent. Yeah, and also, yeah, I mean the cultures are pretty most cult I'd say 85% of African countries have similar culture,
Okay.
but it's like I mean English is widely spoken. I'd
Right.
say in about 80% of the countries.
Okay.
Um, but like, yeah, you would still have to know a local language. I'm not saying you could survive with English, right?
Right.
But just like, it's like a lot of local languages spoken day to day that, you'd have to know at least one local language in a country.
To live there.
Not, yeah, I mean you could be fine like in a francophone country if you speak French, you're fine.
Right.
In like an anglophone country, if you speak English, you're fine. But I'm just saying to assimilate yourself in the culture. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the terms, and then the words. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, yep,
Well, I guess I've heard you like talk to your friends and family on the phone, and like I didn't understand
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
See, the US did a good job of taking that away from my people. Like our words, like our language, we just like are like 80 years old, those people that like speak the language. And
yeah.
it was taught you don't do it. The US said you don't do it or we'll basically kill you. Those boarding schools, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing about language is you, to a certain extent, um, people speaking the same language actually unifies the country, you
Everybody.
know,
Yeah.
everybody, because like, you know, if there's like then let's say if the US had like, like three different not I know there's Spanish here, but it's not official, right?
Right.
But if it was like there was like it was official, like you had to speak, like there's just a part of the country that doesn't speak English, right?
Right.
It'd make like, there'd be this weird kind of friction where it's like people don't
Mhm.
want to, like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yep. So it kind of makes it to a certain extent. So what I do know is that um they're trying to make a bunch of countries, trying to like start speaking Swahili more because
Oh,
I
to
guess
do that.
yeah, it's widely spoken in East Africa. It's actually the most spoken language in Africa
Oh,
across
wow.
country. Yeah, but a lot more countries want to adopt it as an official language. And if that does happen, then yes, it will make communication easier, trade much easier because I don't like I call you and I could just speak, Swahili, and it's just one. Yeah, there's no you wouldn't feel like there's a barrier that, oh, this is not my, these are not my people, if the
Right.
language is all the same. Look at, like, say, China, it's all Mandarin, right? Regardless of what side of China they're from.
Right. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. No, that does make sense. And it's smart because I mean, you look at the youth, you look at that Gen X, right, with emojis and how emojis have even united the world on a
Oh
communication.
yeah,
It's silly, but it's true. Think of
it is true.
hieroglyphics. You know,
Yep, yep,
why do hieroglyphics pop up on other places around the world that match the ones in Egypt? Maybe because that was trade communication, right? Exactly.
yep, yep.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
So
language is the beautiful thing. Um, is it, I mean, this kind of goes for in between Africa and just getting into Africa. Is it tough, like visa wise, to get it?
With the US passport, no, it's not tough. So, yeah, with the US, like, what it is like, if you got US passport,
that's gold,
European,
huh? In the
yeah,
whole
it's
world.
like,
That's gold in the whole world. Not really. Not in the countries that hate us, like Russia and stuff, but
yeah,
the ones that like us, yeah.
yep. So it's you won't have a hard time getting a visa, but yeah, most like I'm not aware of any. I don't. There's probably some African countries where you could fly, with no visa, but most of them require at least a visa. Even if it's on arrival, yeah, you'd need a
Mhm.
visa. Yeah.
Do we call the embassy? That's how we do that, yeah.
No, no. I mean, there's a website where I could, like,
Yeah.
I'll forward you the website that,
That would be
you just,
awesome.
yeah, do the application. It's not difficult,
Okay.
honestly. It's not difficult.
Just kind of
Yeah, I
like you just
figured
want to know
it's
who you
not,
are,
but
essentially. It's
Yeah,
government. It's government to government. It's paperwork.
yeah, government to government. Yep.
That's why I have two IDs. I got a tribal ID and a state ID
Yep.
and a passport. Three IDs. They know me. They got my blood.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Definitely.
I,
what is there anything like we need to bring in the sense of like gifts when we come? That would be appropriate. You know what I mean? Like when I come, like traditionally, like we have like that sage and that sweetgrass, like I have on my car. Like
Yeah.
some like with Superman this weekend, he was the celebrity guest we had with us, and then the event coordinator, I gifted
Mhm.
sweet or sage, because that's just kind of like a thing. Is there anything like that I could do or that is appropriate or something like that?
Yeah, so it depends, and so the thing with Africa, and that's why I'm so glad you guys are coming, is
I'm
there's
excited.
yeah, there's some, like, each country has a ton of tribes. Like,
Right.
Uganda itself has over 100 tribes, right? And each tribe, has its own dialect, right? Own language, and you get what I'm saying, right? And they
Yeah,
have
it's
their own
mm,
customs.
like our tribes, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like your tribes, right? And uh different customs. The dressing is pretty much the same, but like
Right.
most of the customs are kind of different. So like I
It's
know in
from the
Nigeria,
land, right? Like the
huh?
dress, the cultural traditional stuff comes from the land, right? It's like the animals, the earth, like the drums are made out of the hide, the clothing represents the
Yeah. So
yeah,
the drums, you'll see the drum made out. There's drums made from snake skin, drum
right.
made from cow skin. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
all that stuff. Yeah, but uh, so it depends on what tribe it is. I know most Nigerian tribes,
right.
a bunch of them, like, for like weddings and stuff, they have a tradition where like, they kind of like, you know, spray you with money, shower you with money, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Yeah,
During the tradition.
Mhm.
Ugandan tribes, it depends. For ceremony like that, I don't think, not that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of like a specific gift that that visitors have to bring to the couple, but usually money is good enough.
all right.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything specific that say like you guys need to bring. But
Right,
I do know it's like like once you're getting married and you're meeting the families, each tribe has its different requirements. Like some tribes will say, hey, you want to, like, you have to pay dowry, and like part of that dowry we want like maybe two goats, one cow, and stuff, something like that.
help
So
me
it just
yeah.
yeah, it depends on what tribe it is, but I'm not aware of any gifts that visitors are supposed to bring.
Yeah, I just thought I'd ask. I might bring you guys some sage and sweetgrass just because that's my cultural thing.
Oh yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that would
yeah,
be nice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's easy. It's plants. I mean,
Yeah,
can we bring plants into the country like that? Like dried, can I?
Food.
yeah, I
Grass?
think you can, as long as it's
Live.
not it's not herb. I
Oh
think you should
shoot!
be
So
fine.
the local plant around me, I can't
I'll
bring.
bring it. I'll bring it to you in Portland.
Yeah.
I'll bring it to you in Portland.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll bring the blanket. I want to get you a blanket, like a Pendleton blanket. That's a gift. Like that's another
Yeah.
thing. That was more of a newer traditional thing, the blankets in
Yep.
our culture.
So like like um I know like most like common gifts is like it'd be something like something like I got you for your wedding, like
Yeah,
just, yeah, crafty stuff. Yeah, something like that. I know a bunch of people get stuff like that.
yeah.
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 Yep.
Ah, that's cool. All right, all right. I just got ideas. I got ideas. And I'll bring money. I heard you. I heard you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll do an NFT or something for you.
It has to be worth something though.
Mark's butt
Yeah,
cheeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
It will be
Yeah.
worth something for like a day.
And for one day, and then it's worth nothing the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like, so Kampala,
Yeah.
in Uganda, is that like a big city? I'm trying to compare it to like the size of Portland.
Um, Kampala is way it's Kampala is way bigger than Portland, just size wise and population
Yeah.
wise. Because
Like
Portland has,
like
huh?
Houston, right? Like Houston's a good,
I've
right?
never been to Houston.
Oh,
Yeah. But so Kampala is it's I'd say I could be wrong. It's in the millions, the population in the millions, right?
right.
Um, but here's the problem though is um so it was not designed to be a city to have more than like
Mm.
1 million people, right? So when the British left, and then we had all these like presidents come in. There's also a bunch of coup d'etats in the middle, right? Very bad planning. Until today is very horrible planning. Like, it's like infrastructure. You know, it's so much corruption. Like people like they don't take the infrastructure serious. You like I would say the roads are not great at all, but there's like, people investing in like, malls and like resort. You'll find all those like top of the line resorts and all that type of stuff. But just like the planning of the city, like it's too many people in the city and there's bad planning. Like they don't care. Like it's just free game. Like you could build your house anywhere. There's no codes, nothing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's how bad it is, and yeah, the planning is not the best.
There's no, it's the government hasn't like set up the zone, like the housing zones, the infrastructure zones, like you're saying.
I mean, the government is not. I don't think they care about the people, to be honest. And also I think most people, it's one of those, I'd say I wouldn't speak for other African countries, but Uganda
Right,
in general is like, once people have not been exposed, once you don't know what, yeah, you could see, like you watch on TV that, okay, this, like, oh, the US is, first world country and that. But if you've never experienced it with your own two eyes, then you
right,
don't know what a functioning society looks like, right? And so you're
right.
so used to disorganization that it's normal to you, right? So,
Mm.
like, yeah, every time I go back, I'm like, man, like, simple stuff like, just like fixing a road, you know, like the government doesn't care, they'll fix it once and that's it, they'll put up street lights and once they go out, they'll never replace them. It's like they could have a budget for that, but obviously someone will embezzle that money.
So
Right.
is there public transit, kind of like even like a metro bus or anything like that?
There's public transport. So in Uganda, there's what you call boda boda, which is like it's like just motorcycle, right? So but you have to pay for it. There's no free public transportation. Everything there's like the small buses that you could ride in. You pay a small fee, but they have their routes they take. But if you want to like go, there's Ubers too. You could take an Uber, but most people like taking the bikes because bike is you don't get stuck in traffic and it could literally go anywhere, so and it's cheaper than taking a car. So you'll see a lot of those on the road, a lot of bikes
So
on the road.
so like do you, like people have cars though? Like that they'll drive their own personal car pretty much.
Oh
That's
yeah, no,
that's usually what's
yeah, right. Actually, there's more cars that need. There's way too many cars in the city. Way too many. Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't mind if there's a lot of cars, but just the planning of the city is horrible. There's
right,
no like interstate here's how there's highways that get traffic away from downtown, right? Like
right.
you don't have to drive through downtown to get to a
Yeah,
specific side, right? But like in Kampala, it's like you can't avoid certain traffic locations because there's just one road that leads to somewhere.
right. That's
Yeah.
kind of, it makes sense. That's kind of like here when you get into like the highways of like these small towns in the sense of like, oh, but then you add population to that without those highways being built. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So exactly something like that, where
It's
it's
like if
like
Portland didn't have highways or interstates.
absolutely
Yeah.
that it just if
Yeah.
Portland didn't have highway and interstate and then quadruple its population.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
feels like in Kampala because
I
like
can see that.
every time
Portland
I
has too many people, even with the highways and interstate.
yeah. Yeah, but now imagine quadrupling that, and then there's no the only highway in Uganda, in Kampala that I could right now is from the airport. There's one highway that
Oh,
gets you, yeah, it gets you to downtown. It gets you to across the city, right?
right.
But outside of that, like that's the only highway I could, think of. The most of them, it's just like, essentially you should be having like 3, 4 lanes, and it's like a one-way lane. Yeah,
What's the traffic like? Like in the sense of like time? Like
horrible,
you just
hor
sit forever?
horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
horrible. Yeah. So like, you have like it's usually most people like would like if I want to do something in town,
Right.
um and especially like weekends, like weekdays, there's rush hour, which is horrible. so people wake up earlier.
Right.
But then weekends, like if I want to do stuff, either I have to like leave like at noon and just stay in town because I don't want to like get stuck in traffic. And then I'll just like, once I'm inside town, I'll either take a bike around, I'll take a bike to whatever location I want.
Right.
And then I'll come back home, like late in the night, when there's no traffic. But the traffic is horrible.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, traffic is horrible.
That makes sense. What about Nigeria? Have you been to Nigeria yet? That's the what? So is this
I
your first time?
No, second time. I have been to Nigeria, and I will say Nigeria actually has way better infrastructure than Uganda. Way better. Yeah. They actually, because I was in the capital, Abuja, right?
Right.
They have legitimate highways, like US type of highways. So not I didn't at least see any traffic. I didn't experience any traffic when I was there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they that city is well planned out. It was planned out similar to a US city, so good highways from the airport, highways in the city, highways take you to the suburbs, everything's spread out.
Nice. That makes
Yeah.
you think. Because I've complained about Portland traffic. I know Mark's complained about Portland traffic. And so it's just that's more of that American, I guess, like in us that like, oh man, like you guys just complain about everything, huh?
Yeah, see, that's the thing also. It's like I really like I never like blame like Americans, right? Because so unless you travel, but like if you've never traveled, it might seem like it sucks in this country, but like other countries are way a million times worse. Like
Oh,
Portland, I actually don't think Portland has traffic at all. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't think it has
that I
traffic.
mean that's fair. That's a fair because
Yeah.
like if you think of
yeah,
like
yeah,
LA or the Bay
yeah,
Yes.
Area, it
yeah.
Yeah.
really it's not bad traffic at all.
At all. Because bad traffic to me is sitting in the same spot for 2 hours. That's bad
Yeah.
traffic.
I've never experienced that in my life.
I've done that. There's one time in Uganda, I sat down. It was massive traffic. I don't. It was like I don't know. I forget. I was much younger, but we sat in the same spot for like 5 hours. Five
Why?
That
hours.
that's rough.
Why?
Yeah, it was bad. I think there
I've
was so
I've been
like the
in bad
roads are so
traffic, but not like that.
yeah. Like so, I think that day what happened was. Like I said, most things are not planned out good. So it's kind of like a major road where that leads to a lot of different parts of the city. And then
Right.
there was like a mall in the middle of that road. So I think there was a huge event in the mall, and the parking in the mall was full.
So they just
So
park.
it's like yeah, and it's just one lane to get into yeah, and one lane to get out. So it's just like everybody's stuck. 5 hours.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
but, like you see, like it makes sense when you like see these historically, like before the automobile, that
Yeah.
one lane was fine.
Yeah.
Like
I
that kind
mean,
of stuff was okay, but it's crazy how like
like
technology and stuff has advanced us in the different societies, how they adapted it, right? Because you guys like in Africa, you don't have like telephone lines because you guys just went straight to the cell phone, right?
well, yes, and so there was telephone lines, but not too many. Because I
Right,
do remember, yeah, I do remember like growing up, I saw one, two of those dial phones,
right,
but not everyone had it.
right.
So yeah, it was, yeah, in the early 80s. Well, I was not born in the 80s, but
Yeah,
at least remember in the like late in the 90s, people went just straight to like the Nokias that came out. So yes, no telephone lines.
yeah.
But in terms of infrastructure, I don't think it's I think the problem with at least in Uganda in general is the British laid out a plan for the city, and then they get kicked out, and then people come in and just ignore the plan they set out, right? Because like when you're building a city, it's like, hey, you have to plan for expansion, right?
Right.
So you can't have everything. I think once you know you know Uganda got independence, like the government that came in, people just started building everywhere, right? So it just ruined the whole
hmm.
plan. So that you'll see it's kind of it's kind of you'll see it when you get there. It's like, okay, you'll see nice house, like
Yeah.
nice house in the middle of like a lot of bad houses. You find
Right.
nice like a good mall, but around it is just like you get what I'm saying, like there's no plan.
You, I really want to take you here to Wolf Point because the reservation, I think it's not as large scale.
Yeah,
Like it's that on a smaller scale. Like yeah, you have a nice house, you have the nice neighborhood,
yeah,
but they don't even have siding on their home. It's paper
yeah,
bags,
Oh,
whatever,
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
cardboard in the wall. You know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah, I'll have to bring you. And the dogs just run everywhere, fucking, and guys walking on meth. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's like
Uh, I hate to cut it short, but we're running out on time.
Okay.
Um, and so I don't know if you know how this works, Yolo. I mean, it's been a while since you've been on the podcast, but
Mhm.
we end with final words. So
Okay.
you can literally say whatever you want at the very end. It could be a poem, could be a joke, could be literally anything you want. Since you're the guest, we always start with our guest. So anything you want to first final or say final words?
Uh, Final words. Let me see. Um, I'm trying to think of a good proverb an African proverb that I could say, but I don't have anything good at the top of my head. But I don't know. I'd say this is more like just between us, but I'm really excited for you guys to I'm excited for you guys to come down. I'm excited for you guys to explore. I know this is going to be your first time in Africa. It's going to be a huge culture shock. It's you'll see another side of life, and I hope it just makes you guys um, like it'll make you appreciate life more, it'll make
right.
you appreciate life more with growing up here in the US your whole life and then coming down and just seeing how different people live, and how different people survive day to day. And I think it will give you much much bigger appreciation for life.
No,
I love it.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited, man. No, I truly am because you're absolutely right. That is one of the I think biggest things that is going to happen is going to be
yeah.
that culture shock that you you know my first real international travel was going to Iceland this last year. So
Okay.
that's not that it's very American in that sense.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
So, you know, I'm really excited to see that, like, yeah, exactly what you're saying that. And
mm.
then not only that, but to meet like your family, the people
Yeah, yeah,
that raised you, you're one of
yeah,
my like
yeah,
you're one of my best friends,
yeah,
I'll say it. I'll say that,
yeah,
And I see that. And just the fact that like I get to meet like I never met your dad. Yeah, I've never
yeah,
met your mom, like those are
yeah.
like I would love to do that. So it'd just be really cool because those are the people who raised you, who
Yep.
made you who you are, who gave you the ability to come to America, and then I get to meet you
Mhm.
in America. And then to see that like we did grow up in this like privileged society. And like I get
Mhm.
it as a Native American, we've had the struggles, but
Mhm.
like there's other places out there. Like at least we are still here and we kind of still survived in that sense.
Yep.
Where it's like our
Yep.
culture wasn't. There's just different things. So then
Mhm.
to go experience something else, completely opposite side of the world, I'm ecstatic for. So thank you
Yep.
for giving us this opportunity as well.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Reverend's final words, wisdom. I mean, I'm super excited for it. I'm
Mhm.
excited to get uncomfortable I
Mhm.
love travel, being uncomfortable, experiencing new things.
Mhm.
I'm also super stoked for you. I mean, you're getting married. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason. I
Yeah,
couldn't be
yeah,
more
yeah.
happier for you.
Yep.
So I mean, it's gonna be all love and happiness mixed in with this like anxious, uncomfortable feeling,
Yep.
and I'm kind of all for it. It'll be so different for me, but I think yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm excited to take away because I mean I love travel. I've traveled in Europe or Spain, France, Denmark, Germany.
Nice.
So I'm excited to add more places. This will be a different adventure for sure.
Definitely.
Um, but I mean, that's what makes it, I think that's the special part of traveling. I mean, I work with international students, so I get to
Yeah.
hear all these different cultures that they come from, whether it's like Argentina,
Hmm.
or Germany, Denmark, all those places. So, or New Zealand and Australia, there are a lot of lads from there. And I love listening about their home countries. And now I get to
Hmm.
see the home country of a good friend of mine. So
Oh, nice.
it'll be a little extra special.
Nice, nice. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that being said, that's the end of the podcast.
All right.
Bye.